Hey. Okay. Hey, Allison, welcome in today.
Hi.
So, what brings you in?
I've had a little bit of an issue that I'm trying to figure out how to kind of get through as of
Okay.
late. Um, there's this girl who I grew up with.
Hmm.
Um, we were best friends, but kind of by conveniency. We both went to a private Catholic school, so you didn't really have many people to choose from to be
Hmm.
friends. And she's getting married next month. And I'm supposed to be her maid of honor, but I don't know if I want to go to the wedding.
Okay. I can definitely understand why that would be a dilemma.
Mhm.
Tell me more about your relationship with her.
We we were both like the weird kids growing up, so like we were friends. And then when she got to high school, she kind of started getting an ego, acting like she was better than I was
Hmm.
because she got into a different school than I did. I didn't get into the school that she did, even though it was a lottery, because it was an early college made for people whose parents didn't go to college. Both her parents went, so it was a lottery for me, her, and all of our other friends. But she liked to brag about that. And then she bragged how she got into UNC Chapel Hill, and I didn't. I didn't apply because I wanted to do marine bio, and I would have been an idiot to go to Chapel Hill.
Sorely out of place.
I mean, she was like, "Oh, come to Chapel Hill for marine science." I'm like, no, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And so every time I've hung out with her ever since, like she always tries to act all tough and high and mighty, and she doesn't respect my boundaries.
Hmm.
Like when I went to one of her bridal lunches, I don't drink at all if I'm going to be driving, and not even a little. That's something that I just am not comfortable with.
Yeah.
And when I got to the brunch place, she was trying to convince me to like get a cocktail, and I'm like, no, I don't want to. Like, I don't like doing this. And she's like, oh well, like a little won't hurt. And I'm like, you're not listening to me. I
Hmm.
just said I didn't want to do this. And like every time I go to her house, like I drove to her house one time to go to a concert with her, and she about 3 hours away, and she just ignored me for like the first 30 minutes I was there. I just sat on her couch awkwardly, just like, okay. And I ended up not going to her bachelorette party because they were going to DC and they all wanted to go clubbing and drinking and other illicit things that I'm not into.
Hmm.
And I don't really all the other bridesmaids went to high school and college together. I barely know any of them, so I'm always kind of the outcast and they never try to include me.
Hmm.
And so I ended up telling her, I was like, hey, I don't want to go to your bachelorette party. And she tried to guilt me. She was like, oh, well, it's not going to be the same without you. I'm not going to have any fun if you're not there. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable with the things you guys are planning to do. And she's like, oh, that's just what everyone else wants to do. I don't want to do that. We won't do any of that. And guess what they did on the bachelorette party?
Hmm.
Everything that I didn't want to do that I knew they were going to do.
Yeah.
And like at this point, I'm thinking about like how she's always treated me and how she doesn't respect my feelings. She doesn't respect a lot of things. And another part of it is that she's having a very traditional Catholic wedding,
Hmm.
which I don't have any problem with. I'm not Catholic. I grew up Catholic. I'm not Catholic. But she's also not Catholic. She just wants her parents to pay for the wedding.
Hmm.
And so she's doing that. I'm uncomfortable because I don't most of her family doesn't know I'm converting to a different religion. And it's very awkward because part of my religions I'm not allowed to partake in the religious aspects of her religion. So I shouldn't kneel when they kneel. I shouldn't pray when they pray because technically I'm not even supposed to go to a service in a different religion. But my rabbi said that I should support my friends, and so that's why I'm doing it.
Okay.
But she doesn't even respect that. She doesn't respect anything. She doesn't respect my dietary restrictions. So I don't know what I'm going to eat at the wedding. I asked her what food they had. She listed a few things. She's like, oh, but all the bridesmaids are just going to eat beforehand. Yeah, I'm going to eat before a 6-hour wedding and not eat during it. So, like, on one hand, I want to go because I've known her for a long time and I know if I don't, that'll be the end of the friendship, I guess. But also, I don't want to go because she doesn't respect me. Like, she doesn't respect me as a person. I don't see her as a friend anymore.
Yeah.
But I still feel like I should go
Mm.
because I grew up with her family. Like I watched her siblings grow up. Like we were really close. It's like, what do I do?
I feel like I hear respect coming up a lot for you. You feel like you're not respected by her at all. It sounds like.
Yeah, I would say that. And it's not like that I demand to be respected, but it's just like, hey, if I have a boundary,
Mm-hmm.
you can't just
Yeah.
cross that and expect me to be okay with it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's a lot of what I feel like I hear you saying is a lot of boundary setting that you're trying to do, which is really healthy, is being pushed by her and or just blatantly disrespected.
Yeah.
Would you say that you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And how does that make you feel to know that she's treating you this way?
Awful. Like I don't want to be a part of it.
Hmm.
It's frustrating because she always preaches about like empathy and being a good person, and I'm like, bitch, where?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's
No, it's definitely hard too when someone preaches what they don't practice.
and she's
For
just in her own little bubble and doesn't ever listen to me or my concerns. And I just don't know if I can really go and support her like I should be.
Okay.
But also I've in August I would have known her. I'll know her for 20 years.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah. It's a long time.
yeah.
So, okay. Based on what you just told me,
Mhm.
how important would you say it is on a scale of 1 to 10 to attend the wedding?
Usually
10 being like, I'm going 1,000%, and 1 being like, it doesn't matter to me at all. I don't care.
honestly like probably a 6.
Okay. Why not like a 7 or an 8?
Because I don't see her as a friend anymore. Really. At
Okay.
the end of the day, like after this wedding, she's gonna move to California with her fiance,
Mm.
and I
Okay,
don't really have a
so
desire to keep the relationship up.
yeah. So I feel like you kind of see it as like a last goodbye sort
Yeah,
of thing. Okay. Why not lower on the scale?
because I have known her for so long, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you're right, this is kind of a last goodbye. I would feel shitty if my last goodbye was, hey, I'm not coming to your wedding anymore.
Hmm. Okay. So it seems more like the history between you two is really what's pulling you to go, it seems
Yeah.
like.
I definitely have problems with letting people go.
Okay. Okay. Maybe that's something else we can explore in another
Yeah,
section.
some other day, not today.
Okay. Tell me, what are some of the pros of going?
She'll feel supported.
Hmm.
Um, her family won't be mad at me for not going. My partner's coming with me. That's
Okay,
fun.
yeah. Have some support there.
Yeah, I get to see him all dressed up.
Okay. Anything else you can think of?
I mean, I know it would mean a lot to her.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like, just to kind of maybe sum it up just a little bit, I feel like it seems like I can understand why you're on the fence. I understand like it really feels like you're drawn to go because you want to preserve the relationship or at least give her a nice I'm done with you kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also see that you're kind of fighting with it sort of because you're worried about your boundaries and being disrespected by her like you had been in the past. Does
Yeah.
that sound about right?
Completely.
Yeah. What about maybe some cons of not going or going?
I wouldn't have to drive 2 hours to go. I wouldn't have to
Hmm.
find a pet sitter.
Okay.
Because I have a pet.
Some more practical things.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to spend money on a hotel. I wouldn't have to. Here's the thing: I hate acting like I'm being a fake person, and I feel like I'm being so fake with her. I feel like I'm not being transparent,
Hmm.
and I hate that.
Yeah.
So I would hate if someone was doing that for me. But I put on a fake smile and I act like everything's okay, and that's not fair to me or her.
So your morals are really kind of what's driving you to go a little bit.
a little.
Okay.
And like, it's just, I know I'm gonna be miserable the
Mhm.
whole time. I was at her bridal shower a couple weeks ago, and my mom told me, my mom was also there afterwards. She was like, "You just looked so miserable." I was blinking SOS and Morse code to my dad.
Yeah. Sounds pretty tough.
Just wasn't. And like, I don't know. Also, I don't want to go because her family has a bit of a drinking problem, and there's going to be alcohol at the wedding,
Mhm.
and I don't really want
Yeah.
to.
Especially when that's a boundary you already previously set. That
Yeah.
she didn't respect.
Oh yeah, no, she's gonna try to get me to drink, and I won't be driving because my partner will be driving. But I'm on medication right now. I can't drink anyways. But I know that's not gonna stop her from asking me.
Yeah.
And it's just annoying having to keep being like, no,
Yeah.
no, please listen.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, it's frustrating when our boundaries are violated, for sure. All right, well, I don't know what to tell you.
That's fair.
Hopefully that was recorded.